And lo, episode 57 of the FlameFlash.net podcast is up and running. If you're not familiar by now, well, I'm FlameFlash of FlameFlash.net, and we're going to get started because, like last week, there is quite a bit of E3 Fallout news. So, on to the Raptor Report, since it's a Wednesday. First up is going to be Mario Kart 7. Street passed my cousin, finally, on the 3DS, and summarily kicked his ghost's butt. Now, in his defense, he hasn't gone and done many time trial modes since that first one, so I hope to be able to face him and renewed time trial ghosts later. You don't know Jack. Likewise, a cousin came calling, and we had the opportunity, therefore, to enjoy a friendly game of You Don't Know Jack with 3 players. I believe he won a round, as did I. And poor Red Flare, well, we'll blame the baby that she was holding. She did actually drop her controller at one point, and it bounced during the Jack attack on wrong answers, so that kind of just threw that game out the window as far as she was concerned. Bastion. Now, this is a PC game. Highly recommended. Came highly recommended from the cousin. And so, Humble Bundle was going on offering Bastion. Why not? About an hour into it so far. A lot of that hour was trying to figure out the timing of the bow so that, you get the power shot as soon as you release. The narrator of the action RPG story is entertaining and fun. It has a feel of Secret of Mana to it, which I think is why I'm going to like this game. Have to play more. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Can you tell I'm raising gamer kids yet? So, cousin is visiting. What's a good game to sit down and play as a family? It's not going to be You Don't Know Jack. That's, for the adults once the kids are in bed. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You get to choose your controller type. Most of them go with the classic Wii controller gamepad. And then I go usually for the Wii remote and nunchuck. It's just how I find most comfortable when playing. Rift. What? Wait, what? Another MMO? Yes, another MMO. Played more Rift. Not sure if I discussed it before, but E3 is clouding my mind quite clearly. It's a good game. Its art style is very different from World of Warcraft. You can tell it's a later produced game, but it's not hooking me. It's not dragging me into the world and the area. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I don't know anybody who's playing. I don't know anybody who spoke exceptionally high of it. I don't know. But it's a good game. I would just rather play my WoW mage with Red Flare as opposed to going solo with the mage in Rift. That's just me. So, World of Warcraft. Last week, of course, was E3, and it was also, of course, Dark Moon Fair. So, yet again, I missed most of it. It would be really nice if we could time the first week of the month to not be chaos. We'll see if that happens someday. Finally, Dungeon Defenders comes out on top this week because, well, It's a really good game. The younger son's birthday came along last Friday, and one of the party favors, quote unquote, were the downloadable characters of Dungeon Defenders for the PC. The Barbarian, Eevee, and the Summoner. Each child receiving one. The birthday boy received the Barbarian, older the Summoner, and then older daughter received Eevee, the female robot, who is now very pink. I'm enjoying these new characters. I'm impressed by them. And no, the kids aren't tied to they can only play on this one single character kind of situation. But I like these 3 new characters. I hope to put together a flameflash.net post regarding these 3 characters and kind of go more in depth than I really can in a fully booked and ready to go podcast. Since that was the Raptor report, remember, you can find me on raptor.com/flameflash. You can therefore stop what I'm playing. Get a jump on things. See what I've been playing. See what you could join me in playing. Right there on Raptor. Don't have to know you personally. This isn't where I'm going to be posting pictures of the kids or... This is my gamer identity. You can tell that clearly by the Xbox 360 avatar that I'm using as opposed to the torch. It's a good site. Go forth and check it out. Since I went there, we're going to start things off with the geekery news. Xbox Live app for the iOS. Now, supposedly there's an Android version as well. Haven't tried it out. The iOS iPad version is enjoyable. You can load up your avatar, for instance, change his look. Mine now doesn't match what he looks like over on Raptor. But you can see who's online this way. It's fantastic. I love it. If you have Xbox Live and you have an iOS device or Android or any of the other devices that support the Xbox Live app, go get it. It will be worth your time. One of the things I absolutely loved about the Blizzard Mobile Armory or auction hall was the fact that I could see who was online. It's one reason I was very tempted by the subscription, the monthly subscription for that little app. Tempted. Not doing it. Alright. News from E3. It's going to be what mostly dominates. But then Apple had to go and sneak in a huge developer conference group of announcements earlier this week. So not only do we have E3, but we have Apple making announcements. So be it. Let's get started. PlayStation Vita is going to receive an update to let you finally use your purchased PlayStation 1 games. So if you actually have a memory card large enough to hold all of your PlayStation 1 classics, boom. You have them all ready and waiting at the palm of your hand. Granted, for me, it would be wiser to have just one game on that memory card at a time anyway, because Final Fantasy VII will take me a while to catch back up with. It's just how it is. Now, on the 3DS, so if you grab your 3DS and you look at the E3 videos, one of the items there was a Wii U trailer for the gamepad. Now, I found this quote funny. If Dad wants to watch the game, the gamepad can let you play your game uninterrupted. Well, how about the dad that wants to play a game, but the kids would like to watch a movie? Or Better yet, the dad wants to play an M-rated game, but the kids are still awake. Now you can. At least for the 2-3 hours that it looks like the gamepad's battery life will probably have after a reasonable amount of use. Let's hope it has more, but that in and of itself, the low reported battery, yeah, I went there. We'll just subject the YouTube watchers to the Picard facepalm for a moment, because I'm wearing a headset. Doing the Picard facepalm would probably not be overly wise. Yeah. Almost have it. Just can't do it violently and slap the forehead, I suppose. Just... no. Nintendo, the 3DS got nailed for this same complaint. Up the battery life on your stuff. I really hope it doesn't hurt them, because I'm heavily interested in the Wii U. So, supposedly, just more random Flameflash.net geekery news, there's a Wonder Woman movie in the works. I guess because the television series pilot was so bad, I don't follow. Maybe it's because Marvel or DC is now seeing $ figures in their eyes thanks to the Avengers' success, and the only way to do it is to start. Hopefully they're already signing the fellow who is playing Superman in Man of Steel to come back for any later possible Justice League movies. Of course, then you have the conundrum of who the heck's going to be Batman? We've had quite a few Batman Incorporated has been all over the place. So, trying to select the right one is going to be kind of like how they slipped a brand new Bruce Banner in the Avengers. Well, this is a rather tear-jerking, pull-on-the-heartstrings kind of thing. A toddler in Brazil rose from his casket to ask for a drink of water. I didn't catch in the article if he got his drink of water, but then he laid back down and died again. I just hope that the pain that family must be going through is able to be dampened over time. I just can't even imagine it. So I'm just going to try to quickly move on. For instance, there is a nice big ruffle about Booth Babes at E3 this year. Now, am I the only one that remembers the Booth Babe problem being a problem a few years ago, at which point they quit doing E3 for at least a year, and then when E3 came back, the quote-unquote Booth Babes were, well, dressed, and then it continued to slowly degrade from there yet again. I'll just shake my head. Alright. Here's some good news out of E3. Final Fantasy Dimensions. Think episodic Final Fantasy V for the iOS. Sounds good to me. Sounds really good to me. Now, every once in a while, you see a news report of, say, some sicko who plays World of Warcraft, so therefore all players of World of Warcraft are sickos. This would be bad logic. Bad logic. No cookie. Bad. Draw me a correlation. Show me the graph. Show me the studies that say video games cause violence. And I'll back off and be quiet. But you're not going to find it. At least not good, statistically significant studies. It's just not going to happen. Which, of course, means that the various folks over in California that want to more heavily regulate the video game industry should just take a long walk off a short pier. They need to get out of there. Out of that. Well, here's one, drop my pen, that might make you think twice before going to a big box store like Walmart. Well, quite a few people think twice before going to Walmart, but that's beside the point. A woman was carrying around in St. Louis area a 20-ounce bottle in her purse filled with currently cooking meth. Holy crap. So she has a bomb in her purse. And she's walking around Walmart shoplifting. Shoplifting. No. We'll just randomly jump over to the Picard facepalm when somebody does something stupid. Incredibly stupid. So I'm sorry, my iTunes vocal listeners. Might be something you want to come over to flameflash.net and track down the podcast and see the embedded video. Because that's how we distribute things. And I guess I'll make a plug right now for iTunes, flameflash.net on iTunes, and then, of course, Flameflash over on YouTube. We'll embed the video, as always, once we're actually done and on the way to posting the podcast. But just watch for suspicious behavior when you're out in those stores. Don't complacently roll over and play dead to the consumerism. Just watch for the signs. In this case, she's shoving crap and trying to steal it. But help the store out. Help yourself out. The sooner that you report a person like that and they get handled, the less likely it is that you'll have to worry about some makeshift meth bomb going off. The Diablo 3 real money auction house is going to require an authenticator. I applaud you, good Blizzard. If you're dealing with real money, and by the way, the real money auction house, kind of launched, today, I think. But if you're going to deal with real money, the last thing you want to do is deal with real money on somebody who's been hacked. That would not be pretty. So I applaud the fact that they are requiring some kind of authenticator to be linked to your account. Most excellent. We've lavished high praise on the Teen Titans before, the Teen Titans animated series. Well, it's coming back in full-length episodes. Supposedly it's going to focus more on the comedy of being a hero. Hopefully there's still going to be some action elements to it, some comic book action. But if not, I guess we'll move on. Apple. So, hey, we've ventured into the Apple press conference. Excellent. If you buy 10.8, I forget the cat name, from the Apple App Store, and you make sure that you're sharing the account, so somebody's over at your house taking care of updates and whatnot, you have 2 computers. Well, you only pay one price for the 10.8 upgrade. Because it's on your system. It's on your license list. Most excellent, Apple. I very much appreciate that. I assume there'll be some kind of a limitation on doing it for all of your home computers, but I don't plan to do it for all of our possibilities. So, Apple iOS 6 is on its way. We're going to get updates to Siri, and we're going to get Siri on the iPad 3. Thankfully, we have the iPad 2, so we won't have to be talking to a fictional character anytime soon. Apple iOS 6 also seems to be getting some very heavy Facebook integration. So when you want to share something random to Facebook, boom, it's there. Thank you very much. I hate that. I'd like at least a mailbox like in World of Warcraft lying around for me to open that and get the letter. But, oh well. Duels of the Planeswalkers 2013 is coming soon. Very soon. June 20th, I believe, is the launch date. And now I just have the difficult assignment of which system do I buy it for? PlayStation Network, which was mostly empty. A Xbox Live user over there on headphones, on Steam. Quite a few different options. Trying to decide which one would be best. Leaning towards Xbox because the promo card of the card game of Magic the Gathering looks very nice. So, Sony is offering an incentive for students. If you remember, Xbox and Microsoft did this a while back. If you buy a Windows-enabled computer, you get an Xbox for free or some such thing. Well, Sony's now doing it. If you buy a VAIO, you have the chance of getting, say, $50 to $200 off the purchase of a PS3 or Vita. And while they're gone, feel free to sneak to a hotel, I suppose. And I must be deviating from the script quite a bit at this point, if I'm leaping my thoughts a bit too fast. We'll move on. Must be getting late. More Marvel TV has been announced. For instance, Avengers Assembled. So not Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but Avengers Assembled. So I wish those folks who were working on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes good luck. Because Avengers Assembled is coming instead. Hulk series Smash Hulk. Now I'm missing the full name of the show, but Hulk's getting his own series. So She-Hulk's going to be on there, Red Hulk, there's I guess a Blue Hulk, and a Yellow Hulk, and then of course our standard green one that we all know and love. I'll have to wait and hold judgment until I can actually see it. The really good television news is that Ultimate Spider-Man has been renewed for a second season. Go forth and support this series on iTunes by picking it up the season pass. As a fan of those old shows, it's brought nothing but value. Sims 3 Supernatural has been announced. And I could care less. It just doesn't make any sense. Zombies, werewolves, fairies. Okay, the fairies are kind of neat. The magic system that they seem to be trying to pull in is kind of neat. But why where you sleep is it so trashed? Never understood that about the kids. They will happily trash the dining room, but if one or the other trashes one of their rooms, they get very upset very quickly. Finally, we'll hop to one more bit of World of Warcraft news. Mists is going to return to the style of Wrath. Now, what do I say when I mean this? Or, what am I meaning when I say this? There we go. It means that when you hit the level cap of Mists, you can immediately go and run heroic instances. It's about time. This is why, plain and simple, I haven't been as heavy in the game at all. Because heroics need to be fun for me, to inspire me to come back and run them again and again and again to gear up. I'll probably give it another shot before Mists. I'd like to get those camel mounts after all, so I have some work to do as far as coloration once they've adjusted to room temperature. We'll leave you with this weird thought then. The Wii U is to use a simplified, quote-unquote, friend code. Now, they haven't gone into too much detail yet on how this is going to work, but it sounds like if you run into somebody online, you're able to send them a friend invite. Or something along, say, when you run into somebody, you can ask to be their friends, or you can give your real-life friends your friend code to get them to sign up and on. With that, we'll wrap up our E3 Fallout episode with a mix of Apple thrown in. It was an impressive E3. I look forward to seeing the games that really come out from it. And if you have comments, questions, concerns, complaints, podcast at flameflash.net. Or tweet at me at flameflash. If you want to play with me, though, look me up on the PlayStation Network. Flameflash. How about look me up on the Xbox? You'll get about the same as far as information goes. That works for me. It means it's not going to be hanging out there for anybody to access. And again, I think I'm making some conversational leaps because of the hour. I apologize. But I'm FlameFlash82 over on the Xbox Live. And I believe on Game Center of iOS, I am also FlameFlash. We have about a week before we have to decide which platform to go with. And right now, I'm leaning toward the 360. We'll see if the surveys that were being offered help them. Did me, but will be interesting. Thank you for stopping by, though. This was episode 57. And this is Flame Flash of FlameFlash.net, who is going to go to bed. Take care.